Our very first discussion of 2018. What does your image say about you? When someone meets you for the very first time and they look you up head to toe, what is it that you're saying to that person? We're going to talk a little bit about how it is that you can step your game up in 2018. You know, work on your image a little bit. You know, the image that you're portraying to the world says a lot about who you are and how you feel about yourself. I've got two guests in studio. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they do, and then we'll get into it. So, Hannah, I'll start with you. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Thank you very much. My name is Hannah Muchuki Geduke. I am a business training consultant with a company called Untitled Development. And yes, and my job in life, or my passion, is to help people become more successful at whatever it is they are doing. Yes.
So how do you do that? Tell us a little bit about.
So I do that through the topic we're going to be discussing today. Today we're talking about personal branding and personal image, because without that, then you cannot be successful at anything. Yeah, so I do that by talking to leaders, talking to young people, talking to women, basically talking to anybody who wants to get to the next stage in life or to become more successful. So we give them the skills that they need to do this.
Don't you want to get to the next step in life? Okay, all right. So welcome, Hannah.
Thank you.
And Phil, go ahead.
My name is Philip Omondi, creative director, La Muchacho Fashion House, stylist as well. We deal mostly in clothing. In terms of clothing, here we talk about style, grooming, and fashion, basically. So today we are here to talk more on the personal image. So on my end, I'll be giving you tips on how
fashion
to look
tips.
good. Yeah.
And we have an eclectic array of fashions here in our audience, as you'll see. And we'll talk more about that. But first things first, right?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you present yourself to someone for the very first time. That makes a statement. So I want to ask you guys a question. We'll start since the girls are on this side. What's the first thing you notice about a guy? The first time you're meeting him and you look at him head to toe, what's the first thing you notice? Huh? Shoes. Shoes, she said shoes. The dress code, what else? The face, the hairstyle, etc. All right, same question on this side. When you notice a chick for the first time and you're like, Ude manaweza, what is it that you've seen about her? Missing the whole point, but it's okay. Hannah?
Yes.
So maybe we can begin by you telling us about first impressions.
First impressions?
Yes.
Okay. What I would say about first impressions is that you don't get a second chance to do what? To make them, okay? So you have got to take the chance to make them really, really good, because people judge you by what they see. You could be having a very good message that you want to pass to the people, because remember, we are all salespeople. I don't know if you know that. Everybody is trying to sell something. Everybody. You want to sell an idea, you could be selling a vision, you could be selling an actual product, and you could be selling yourself for maybe some promotion or something, okay? So because you're trying to sell something, yeah, people are gonna meet you, and so the first impression they see about you is gonna determine whether they're gonna buy you, because they have to buy you before they buy your product, yeah? So it's gonna determine whether they're going to buy you and then buy your product, or they're gonna reject you all together. So if you appear like somebody who's not representing the brand that you want people to see, then you confuse the people, and then you don't end up selling whatever it is that you're trying to do what? To sell. Yes.
So there has to be forethought that goes into this.
There has got to be. You know, you want to think about a company, for example, yeah? You want to think about a company like who? Like Safaricom, yeah? They put a lot of effort and a lot of money to talk about their product, right? Now, you want to think about yourself as a product or as a company, and you want to call yourself, say, what's your name, sir? Bernard. You want to call your company, say, you want to say Bernard.com, right? So you have this company that is called Bernard.com. Now you want to ask yourself, are you spending enough time? Are you putting enough effort, okay, to make sure that your product, which is you, is being bought Okay, so exactly. So you want to put effort into it. It's not something that just comes.
Yeah.
You want to put effort into it so that you can be able to be bought, because that's what you want at the end of the day.
Right.
Yes.
Philip, I'm going to come to you. When I was asking the ladies what it is that they notice about guys, a lot of it was appearance-based. The hair, the shoes, the belts, the watches, you know, what they're wearing and all of that. So when somebody comes to you and says, you know what, I'm not very stylish, I don't know all the latest fashions happening, but I want to carry myself a certain way, I want to change my image a little bit, how do you advise men particularly?
Okay, for guys, first of all, when a client comes to us, we evaluate you. We want to know, one, why, in terms of your wardrobe, we look at what you're doing, that's your occupation. If maybe you are a student, that's, you know, now that's outside work. Now from there, we need to know, like, okay, you need to look good to portray, what are you trying to put out there? What brand are you trying to push? Where do you work? Such like stuff. So when, for instance, let's talk about someone working in a bank, for example. Bankers are mostly associated with looking dapper in suits and all that, uptight type of stuff. But if you've realized, of late, most of our banks, they have certain dress codes. Funky Monday, Funky Friday. So we're trying to gather a couple of stuff from you, from your height, your complexion, all that comes into play when trying to advise what to wear. Size, body size. So yeah, I think rather than...
How about for ladies? What are some of the biggest mistakes we're making as ladies, you know, in terms of fashion and dressing? And I know the trends change all the time, and sometimes we feel like we have to keep changing with those trends. What are some of the mistakes that you see us making?
For the ladies, okay, first of all, I'd like to start by saying it's not good to try keeping up with trends. Instead, you should make your own trends. Like, you should wear something that you're comfortable with, and you should be able to come up with an outfit kinda that is lasting.
Okay.
It doesn't need to keep up with a certain trend,
but also occasion matters.
Occasion matters.
Depends on where you're going. 10 over 10 is a fun show. It's a vibrant show. These guys dance a lot, and I think they're dressed the part. What do you think? What do you think about our audience looking around? They're dressed the part?
They're dressed the part.
Okay. We've been having some of your images of your models that you've styled before, dressed in really dapper suits. Earlier I was having a conversation here with our friend KDF here about suits. He told me he doesn't own a suit. There are some of the images. So would you not like to look like these guys who are on the screen there? Bana, ukiangalia pale. Sunaona hao majamaa wanakaa smart.
Plus,
you don't think that's sharp? Those are sharp looks, right, ladies? Si wanakaa vizuri? See, that's a guy you would take seriously. All right, and we have... All right, so here's the thing, Hannah, we've talked about first impressions,
right,
and thinking of yourself as a brand, or a company,
right.
You know, where do we go from there? Fine, I've thought this is where I want to go. I want to get this particular job. This is these are the steps I'm going to do to get there. What mistakes do you see people making when they're trying to, you know, have a positive self-image and show themselves to the world?
First mistake, you don't know why you're doing it, and then you don't know who you are. Okay, because the first thing you want to do is first to get to know what kind of a person are you, who are you, okay? Who is Bernard? I'm sorry, Bernard, I'm gonna use your name because it's, you know, yeah. So you want to ask yourself, who is Bernard? Where is Bernard going? So you want to look at what is the vision of Bernard, what is the mission, what are the goals in life, okay? So then you want to know that you are a unique person, because you guys know sameness sucks, right? You cannot be like everybody else. Everybody else is taken, by the way. So it is you, all right? So once you know who you are, then you know where you're going, then you don't make those mistakes. But when you start and wanting to be like another person and wanting to copy what people are doing, then you end up losing yourself. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. And I think it happens a lot, especially amongst young people with the whole social media trends. And you're looking down your feed and you're seeing, you know, oh, so this is what is hot and this is what everyone's doing. Let me try and be that for people to accept me. And maybe you can talk about the whole self-acceptance part of it too, because you have to believe in yourself before other people can buy what you're selling, right?
You do.
Yeah,
you do.
Talk about that.
You do have to believe in yourself. You do have to believe in your product, which is you. Now, you talked about social media. Social media is a platform that is so easy to use, yet it is so easy to abuse. Okay, now it's a platform that you're going to use to market yourself, but you can also use it to do what? To actually destroy yourself. So that's something I like to talk about as well when you're talking about personal brand. You want to make sure even what you're putting on social media, remember social media, whatever you put in, you get out. Whatever you put in social media, you get out. Okay, so you want to be careful what you're putting and what kind of brand you're portraying. For example, I know you could be in school. Some of you are in their first jobs right now or second job. Some of you are actually doing their own businesses, which is really, really good. Yeah. So if, for example, you're selling, say what? Clothes. You're selling clothes. KDF. Okay. KDF is bread, right? Okay, good. So you're selling bread, okay? So you're selling bread, but then on your profile picture, you have put a puppy. Okay? No, unaona. Sasa, when you put a puppy on your profile picture, then you confuse your audience, because what you want to do is you have a message and you're targeting a particular audience. Now, if you put a profile picture of a puppy, but then you're selling bread, then that doesn't it doesn't match.
You have to stay consistent with your message.
You have to be consistent with your message. You have to continually improve. You have to continually even rebrand if need be. Yeah, but you need to know who you are before you step out.
Start selling
before you start selling yourself.
Philip, you showed us some images of men that you have styled, and I know you came with a lady model to show us some styling sort of tips. So talk to us before she comes out. You can talk to us about. Oh, actually, she's right here. If you can just come through, stand there, and tell us what she's wearing. Tell us about the look, and tell us, All right, maybe she can just step forward so we can get you on the cameras there. All right.
So for this outfit, mostly La Muchacho, we are known for men's brands, as much as we started with both men's and ladies brands. So for this outfit, in this 2018, we're trying to bring about some concepts to complement some of our men's stuff.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, for the outfit that she's putting on, this is a velvet dress. We're trying to bring a concept of a girl's night out, probably, without no need of stressing to overdress the part, letting the dress make the statement for you.
So this is a night out. This is a Friday night, such as
Friday night, such a kind of dress.
Right.
Yeah.
What does this look say to you, Hannah?
Now, this is what I'm gonna say about dressing and about appearance, because appearance is a very, very critical part of your personal brand. Okay, because personal brand, we talk about your appearance, we talk about your personality, which talks about your behavior, and then we talk about the competencies. Because I mean, if you dress well, but then what are you bringing to the table? You've got to have a skill. Okay, now this looks really, really good, but what I would say is you wanna dress appropriately for what it is that you're selling. You want to be appropriate. Yeah, so if you're selling if you're selling clothes, you want to dress appropriately for that. If you're selling yourself for a promotion, you want to dress appropriately for that.
But
so
this is a fun Friday night.
This is a fun Friday night, but then if it's a fun Friday night, it is fine. But this is the thing, you're portraying your brand everywhere you're going. It is really, really good. Okay, you're portraying your brand everywhere you're going. So if you're talking to business leaders and that's the level you are at, then there are also some outfits that you're going to look at and go like, okay, if my clients see me in this, they might take me differently. So the word is appropriate. You've got to be appropriate. Whatever you wear, you've got to be appropriate with the audience you're targeting, the culture of the organization you're targeting, yeah, and basically the message that you're trying to pass. You've got to be
I think
appropriate.
she's
yeah.
appropriate for 10 over 10.
She is appropriate for 10.
Thank you. You can walk out.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very hot dress there. Philip, we're going to wrap this up and I'm going to take final comments from each of you. So I'll start with you. For the guys in the crowd or the guys watching at home, young guys such as yourself, want to just step it up in 2018, do something different that you didn't do last year. Have people take you in a different way, look at you and get a different message from you. If it's a job that you're trying to get, if it's a business you're trying to start, if whatever it is, someone might be thinking, I need to do something different this year. So what are your final words here for our conversation?
For our conversation today, in terms of the personal image that you're trying to say, I'd like to tell the young guys mostly that first impression, as Hannah had earlier on said, first impression is very important because that's something that will last. You might do something wrong the first time, but it might put me off not to know the good intentions that you might have. So be able to carry yourself in a way that if someone would like to do something next, they don't have to think twice about you.
Yeah, exactly. I like what you said about people, you might have a really good heart or you might have all these great ideas, but someone just judges you based on this is what I see and I don't like it. All right, Hannah, I'll give you a chance to give final comments.
What I would like to say is let me address them, okay, and the people at home as well, and say that there are so many people doing the same thing that you're doing. Okay, there are so many people looking for jobs, there are so many people doing the same business that you're doing, there are so many people basically in the same field that you are, okay? And what you want to do, you want people to choose you, okay? You want people to choose you among so many that are doing the same thing that you are doing. And for that to happen, for the person to choose you, so that you don't keep saying, oh, I keep applying for jobs, I don't get them, I keep doing this, I don't do this, for you to actually be chosen, because that's what you want at the end of the day, you have got to step up your brand, you've got to actually work on your brand, get a personal brand that is gonna get you there. Because if you're like everybody else, we are busy people. The world is full of busy people, okay? And if they hear people shouting, saying, selling, I'm selling, they go like blah, 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 They want to see something different, because the noise is too much. The noise on social media is too much. Everybody's talking, selling, But what is different about you? What's gonna make me come and choose Miss who? What's your name, Mom? What's gonna make me come and choose Miss Lizzie and not choose another Miss Mudoni? Okay, what's gonna make me choose her? So that has got to be your ambition for 2018. You've got to be different, you've got to do something different with your appearance, with your personality, which means your behavior, meaning, okay, the kind of, the behavior that you have that is not good, that you know about, you're gonna change, you have to change that, everything, you know what I mean, yeah? The kind of behaviors, the mannerisms, yeah? The kind of mannerisms that people have that are not really good, So you don't know, no? Right? Yes. So you want to change those kind of mannerisms, you want to up your social media, you want to have a skill, you want to be competent, so that you're the one who gets what? Chosen. At the end of the day, you want to be picked among the rest. Okay?
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Give it up for our panelists today for educating us on how we can step our game up in 2018. It's been an awesome conversation and I hope you've gained something from that. Be different, show up and show out and step your game up this year. So a big round of applause for our panelists as they exit this way.